Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of Arcade Parlor. Let's try to say that together, guys, okay? Okay, you ready? Follow me. In 3, 2, 1. Arcade Parlor. One of these days, we're going to get this. I am your host, David, also known as Poncho Taco on twitch.tv. Super excited to be here today. I'm looking around the virtual room. I'm also here with co-host Ashley Florida.
Hello, everybody.
How are you doing, Ashley?
You know what? It's a beautiful day. It is sunny out. It is 80 degrees. I can't complain.
Wow, 80 degrees. What is it? It's actually 38 here. It's not that bad, but it's super windy today where I'm at. Here in Michigan.
Yeah, 38 sounds lame.
Gross.
Yeah. Cold. Yeah, it is cold, but I am wearing shorts and a hoodie, and I walked outside in that today, and I was okay.
You're a menace to society, you know that? You can't be wearing shorts. Come on.
Shorts and hoodie. That's all you need. That's all you need. It's a great combo.
Dad combo.
Looking around the room, I also have Jackson.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing so splendid it hurts.
It hurts. How does something so splendid hurt?
I've been smiling for too long. It's my smiler's getting sore.
Did your parents ever used to tell you that if you held your face in a certain way too long, it would freeze?
It didn't, and I was disappointed.
You guys read Calvin and Hobbes growing up at all?
Oh yes.
Or even recently, a little bit. I remember there's one strip where he's just holding his face in the ugliest position ever, trying to get it to stick. I just remember that. Man, I love those comics. And then we're also joined by our third guest here on Arcade Parlor. Super excited to bring in Scherbie of twitch.tv.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going?
It's good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Life's
Great.
good.
I'll be the first to say we're super excited to have you on here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I think we reached out to you a little over a week ago or something like that, and we were Ashley did, and we were super excited to hear that you were game to get on here.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Excited to meet you guys face to face and have some fun here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great episode. What do you think, Ashley? Is it gonna be a good episode?
You know what? It's our first male guest host. I'm the only lady here. I'm very excited. It's going to be a good one.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you pointed that out to me the other day, and I was like, "You're right. We've only had women guests on here so far."
True.
So this is new. This is a new experience for us and our listeners. This is great. Oh man. So guys, what's been going on? We had our last episode. When did we record that? Do you guys remember? It was like
it was in November.
Was it in November?
It was.
Okay, and we released maybe I think it was November 7th or something like that. I think that's right. So about 3 or 4 weeks ago, a lot has happened. A ton has happened. I feel like, especially for me, and maybe for you, Scherbie. I don't know.
For me too.
Yeah. I know you had a baby recently. When was that?
Yeah.
In November or when
that
was
that? The end of October. That was crazy. I mean, we knew that was coming. I mean, you have 9 months to prepare, but we decided not to figure out the gender until the baby was born, and that was a lot of fun to find out that we were having our first girl right when she came. So. We have 3 older boys and a little baby girl.
Wow.
So
So three boys, and now you have a girl. And
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Until she was born, so now it's like, all right, we gotta go get a bunch of girl clothes now.
Yeah, exactly. People have been sending us stuff. It's been super awesome.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. I also had a baby girl. Also,
Congratulations.
Just 2.5 weeks ago. November 17th. Looking at the calendar here, 2.5 weeks ago.
Wow.
She's doing great. It's our second girl.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my older daughter is gonna be 3 in January. So we got a new baby girl in, and Yeah, she's great.
Awesome.
keeping us busy.
Right.
How is sleep going for you, Scherbie?
I don't think I've ever slept less in my life. Even with my first 3, it's crazy. The funny thing is, like, she sleeps decently, like 3 hours at a time usually, but still, like, somehow I'm just sleeping less. That's the way it is.
And what
Add
is
another kid to the zoo.
Exactly.
Yeah. What is the age gap on your kids?
So I have an 8-year-old, 6-year-old, 3-year-old, and newborn.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big spread.
Yeah. 8-year-old's helping a lot. 6-year-old, love him to death. Doesn't help that much. Sometimes he helps. 3-year-old wants to be the youngest still. So.
Oh,
No, it's going well.
that's sweet.
My older daughter, she's gonna be 3. She wants to help, like,
Right.
all she can, but there's just some things that you can't do that yet.
Yep.
You can go get mom a burp cloth. How's that?
Yep.
And she's great about that, or trying to help unload the laundry or something like that.
Yeah.
Something easy, but
Dave,
she's doing great.
Your wife told me that that your older daughter wants to hold the baby without help.
Yes. Yep.
Sounds about right.
We've let her hold her, just kind of cross her lap, and of course we're there helping, but she's like, the whole time she's like, no, me, I want to do it. It's like, no, I don't trust you,
My sister.
I can't let you do that.
So cute.
Love it.
Yeah. Jackson, what do you got going on? You have
Not
anything in the
much.
past month?
No, I haven't had kids or whatever. You guys are like crazy when it comes to that. I'm
We
closer
expect
to
it next
being a
month.
kid myself than having one of those bad boys.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
No, it's been pretty chill. I haven't done it. I mean, well, I've been out of town. Went to California twice for whatever reason, just to have some fun, hang with family. Went to Disneyland for the first time in what feels like forever. So it's been a relaxing month, to say the least.
I didn't know you went to Disneyland.
Yeah, Disneyland was just for a day, but it was good.
Was that before the price hike? Because I know they've hiked the price recently.
I have no idea. I didn't pay for
okay.
it. What do you think I'm doing?
He didn't look at the
What
prices.
is it with dads and talking about the price of everything?
come on.
You're telling me. Goodness.
have to focus on
Well, look at Scherbie. He has like 5 kids, four kids. He's always looking at the prices.
Let's
of
round
everything.
up.
Seriously.
Oh man.
Does Disneyland just have? I've never been there. I've been to Disney World once. Does
Way better.
Disneyland only have one park,
No, it has 2.
or are they? It has 2. Okay.
Disney
Gotcha.
World is like infinitely better. No
Yeah.
offense to Disneyland, but
No, that's true.
That's what I've heard.
infinitely.
That's what I've heard. The only thing is, I went to Disney World in June, and it was the Disney World itself is fine, but the Florida June weather is not fine.
It is
And it
not
was
for
just-
the faint at heart.
Not
No,
for
not
Michigan,
at
a
all.
gander.
Yeah, not for me at all. I like it, 55, 60 degrees, partial cloudy. That's what I like, and I'll be out there in my shorts and my hoodie, of course, because that's what I wear.
Can't do that in Florida in June. Or ever,
No.
actually. I think you could just go out in a tank top and flip flop, and it'd be fine.
True.
Every day. Year round.
So Ashley, last time we met, you had just moved to Florida, right?
Right.
How is it back? How is it being back in Florida?
I have 1 box left. I'm so proud of myself. I had like
One?
almost 30 boxes of stuff that I brought with me from Rhode Island when I moved. And I'm like completely unpacked. All my pictures are on the wall. I worked my butt off by myself to get everything in order. The weather's gorgeous. I'm looking out my window right now. I see palm trees and sunshine. So it's been great. My dogs are very happy. I have 2 very tiny dogs who did not like the cold or the snow. So they're loving life right now. Yeah, I've been outside a lot. I've been walking. It's beautiful here. Can't be happier.
I'm impressed that you're down to, when you said one box is left.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been down to one box for like a week and a half.
That's
Okay.
what happens.
Okay. I think I've been down to like 5 boxes for the past 5 years.
Wow. I mean, I'm looking at the box. It's a bunch of game cables that I have to organize and controllers. And I did good when I got here. I took all my systems, which I have like, I think 32 consoles in my collection right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, I live
30 more than I
alone.
have.
Whatever I want. So I took my 32 consoles, I took all the cables out of them, I displayed them beautifully, and I organized every cable in bins. And then I was done, right? I did my whole project. And then I saw this box in the corner. I was like, what's in that box? More cables and more controllers. And because I had already like been done with the project, I just have not been able to get myself to go back and deal with more cables. But you know what? Now I'm motivated. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Hold me to that,
Nice.
please.
Don't feel like you have to. Don't do it if you're
don't
gonna
do
die.
Exactly.
You got the motivation. You got the motivation though. That's
yeah.
what you need. Obviously I didn't move across the country or anything, but I moved my office into this area, which I talked about in the last episode. And just moving everything in here, because I mean I work in IT. So a lot of just like cables and stuff end up at my house from various whatever going on. I have like at least like 5 or 6 laptops. They're all work stuff that I've had to bring home either to work on or because I need to test on. I need to do Mac testing, because I primarily manage a Windows environment, but we do have Macs. And I need to test things on Macs. So I have like multiple Macs, different models with different processors and stuff. Because some are Intel, some are M1, whatever. I'm not gonna get into all that, but and so I have like these machines, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with these. I'm moving into a smaller office. I just have this one little cabinet behind me, which I've tried to organize. And otherwise, there's not too much more room in here. But again, it's also just all the cables, USB cables everywhere. It's like, I don't know if I'm ever going to need this, but I like having all these USB cables. You never know when you're going to need that.
I have like 100 HDMI cables.
Those are valuable.
I must have like 15 HDMI cables. Where did they come from?
Well, every time you need one, you buy one because you lost the last one, and then you're like, "Oh, that's where I put it in that one box that I haven't unpacked."
Whoa.
Now that I'm organized, I'm like, God, I spent a lot of money on cables.
I feel like in a perfect world, I'm sure someday we'll get there. But I feel like I've been hearing for years that there's some new frequency, and I can't remember what it is, that's going to be fast enough for data transfer that we'll be removing HDMI cables someday. So it'll just be cableless, whatever, and you're going to be able to just, through high speed frequencies, you're going to be able to put your stuff on screens without latency and stuff like that. So
Crazy.
I'm waiting for that day. That'd be awesome. That will be an awesome day when that comes.
Blows my mind to think about stuff like that.
Then we'll get invaded by aliens and nobody will care anymore. That's just me.
It's already gonna be alien technology. So
No comment.
So before we go any further, there's one thing. I'm looking around the room right now, the virtual room, and I'm seeing people that you don't look like you normally do. I'm seeing haircuts everywhere. First I see Scherbie. I mean, even your Twitch icon is the hair, right? Like the hair.
Emotes,
The hair,
The emotes
bro.
are your hair. Your sub badges are the hair.
Yep.
And I'm looking and I see a buzz cut.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm sure it was shorter not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
So I shaved it. I recently made partner on Twitch.
Congrats,
Been a
by the
grind.
way.
Thank you. I mean,
Amazing.
I don't claim that I did much to it except for just be consistently there for my community, and the community was there for me. And so I made some kind of wager that I would bick my hair when I made partner. And so right when I found out about it, it was 2 days after we had our daughter. And my wife was like, "You got to stream." And I'm like, "I can't stream. We just have a kid." And she's like, No, you need to stream. And it's like, okay. So I went and started streaming and said, "Hey, we have a big announcement in an hour." And right at that hour, my wife comes in with some hair clippers and just takes it all off. And then I go after I stop the stream, I go in and bick it, and I went down as low as I could go. And now it's been like a month-ish.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you like it? Do you like the shorter hair?
I don't like the between phase. I feel like I'm in the between phase already. I'm not a huge fan. I don't mind it bicked, and I don't mind it like a little short, but right now it just feels like it's just like poof. And I already feel like I need to cut the sides. Exactly. So once it gets curly again, I'll be good with that, and I'll keep it there probably.
Not quite long enough for a curl yet.
No, not at all. Right now, it's just barely getting out of my head.
I was there. I was in your stream when your wife was buzzing your hair when you got partner. I had no idea that you were doing that, but I knew you had got partner, so I popped in to congratulate you. And I was like, what is going on right now?
Yeah. I don't even know if anybody was like, hey, Scherbie, you should do this. I was just like, I'm going to do this. So kept my word, yeah.
Oh, that's so good. And then Jackson, your hair is way shorter than I've ever seen before.
Looking slick.
I guess. I mean, I guess I was known for not having the curliest, dopest locks in the world. It was just like, freaking Back to the Future, just the old Doc guy. That's what I had going on. So I needed a cut.
That's so
The
accurate.
old Doc guy hair from Back to the
accurate.
Future. That's so perfect.
Love it.
That's what it was, and it just needed a just wasn't a buzz. I think it's a length that's fine now. It's fine, but
Look good.
There's only one problem with it though. It's not our arcade parlor logo anymore.
yeah, that's my bad.
Straight from the logo, Bleach.
Okay, I can change the logo. How about that? I'm gonna go paint a new one for you guys. I'll go Picasso it up. Get some abstract art in here with some short blonde hair this time. Thank you very much.
My favorite thing about the logo, and I don't know, we may have talked about this on our very first episode, I don't remember, but when the artist that I commissioned had sent me just sketches. So it was just lines, that's all. Just lines, no colorization or anything like that, just some lines, seeing if I like the direction he was going. You could just tell right away that there's Bleachy's hair. There's Jackson's hair right there. It's just the way it was drawn. I was like, yep, he's captured Jackson's hair perfectly right now.
Just poof everywhere.
And then Ashley, you also had quite I mean, it's not as noticeable maybe on camera right now, but you also had a drastic haircut as well.
I did. So it's really drastic to me, but it's so strange. Like when you're on camera, you only really see from like your chest up. Mm-hmm. So no one actually could see that I had hair past my hips. I was telling people the other day I was putting on pants and I accidentally tucked my hair into my pants. That's how long my hair was.
Is that what sparked you cutting it, or is that just unrelated?
No, it's because my best friend here in Florida, she's a hairdresser, but on the side, she always has her license. So she is gracious and cuts my hair. So it had been 2 years since I had gotten a haircut, 3 years since I'd gotten a real haircut, and she was like, girl, we need to get rid of that dead stuff at the end. So I was like, how much should we cut off? And she showed me, and I was like, that's like over a foot of hair.
That's insane.
So it is. But the thing is, it's you guys can see now, it's like still extremely long. Mm-hmm. So imagine how long it was. But I, from the shortest piece, like over here, it's about 15 inches of hair gone.
Wow.
That is
and it's still long.
I think the longest my hair has ever been is maybe 6 inches in my life. I don't think I've ever gone longer than that.
Bleach, it's I miss your hair, but I don't miss telling you every time I see you to brush your hair.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. You win.
Anyway, guys, thanks for joining in episode. Is this episode 4 or episode 5?
It's 4.
It's episode 4. I think I said 5 at the beginning. This is for our listeners. This is episode 4, not 5.
Unless you count the trailer.
Yeah,
the 1 minute
we do
trailer
have a 1 minute trailer. That's right.
And that took a lot of effort.
canonically, this is episode 4. I think I did say 5 at the beginning. So episode 4, with our third guest. It's always the number -1 because our very first episode was just the 3 of us laying the ground of what this podcast is. So, but anyway, guys, thanks for joining this week. And Scherbie, like I said, we're super excited to have you.
Thank you.
And it's so awesome to hear that you did just make partner on Twitch, which is no easy achievement by any means. When was that?
It was actually like the year after I started, or 2 years after I started. I apologize. November 2nd.
November 2nd.
So,
okay.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I got my stuff to start streaming November 2nd, 2020, and decided like, hey, I'm just going to do like a practice stream. Of course, nobody shows up because nobody even knew that I was going to stream, right? But I was there just doing it for like an hour, and then the next day was like the real time that I started, and I streamed all of the political stuff that was happening that day. So that was fun. But yeah,
Wow.
living the dream.
Yeah.
What was the day?
Say that again. Yeah, to the day. Yeah, it was weird.
That's awesome. What was your first stream? That test stream, practice one. What were you doing?
I'm sure it was Mario Maker. I don't really remember it all actually. Because like I said, it was only like an hour long, and I was like, nobody's here. Why am I even doing this? But yeah.
What? Does anybody else remember their first stream? What they did?
Yes.
What was it, Ashley? Your very first stream.
A lot of people know I used to have a world record in a little game called Belle's Quest. It's the Beauty and the Beast game for Sega Genesis. I'm still in second place. Someone stole my record this year, but we'll get there. And I streamed me attempting to get world record on my very first stream ever.
Cool.
Okay.
Starting off strong. Holy cow. Go for the big numbers.
I got the record on my second stream.
What a way to start. What a way to start.
What do I do now?
What about you, Jackson? Do you remember your first stream, what it was?
I think my first stream was October of 2020, so just a month before Scherbie's, I think. And I streamed Undertale. I'd never played the game before.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'd heard good things about it. Like some friends wanted me to play it, so they watched me play a little bit of it. And it's a good game. And that was my first time playing, first time streaming too. It's a good memory.
I remember my first one was I played Enter the Gungeon, which that's one of my. It was when I was newly getting into the game. So this was April 2021, maybe. I think that might have been my first stream or something. And it was Enter the Gungeon. I'd recently gotten into it. I was playing it a lot on my Switch, which doesn't have the best performance on that game. So when I streamed it, I played it like on my PS4 or something. And so I was starting kind of fresh on everything. But it was a good time. Enter the Gungeon is like one of my top games of all time. Absolutely love that game. So that I still come back to every once in a while. But that was my first stream. Was playing that game.
I was there. I was at your first stream.
You were there.
You were.
I was there.
I feel like I remember you on Twitch before that, so I must have just missed that then, that you were going to start streaming. It's too bad, because I feel like I met you earlier than that.
Yeah, there's a lot of. If I go back and like, I don't even know like how I've met people. Like I go back and like, how did I follow you this long ago? Like I didn't even think I knew about Twitch that long
Right.
ago. Like how have I been on here this long? For like 22 months I'll be following someone. It's like, what? When did I do that?
Long time.
Yeah. It's a long time for sure. So Scherbie, again, congrats on getting partner. That's awesome to hear. That's absolutely awesome to hear.
Thanks.
So you said you started in 2020.
Yeah.
Your first stream.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I mean, like most people in 2020, I was pretty lonely. I feel like everything was isolated. It was hard. I was working a job as a civil engineer at home in my basement. Didn't talk to anybody but my wife and my kids for probably 6 months. It feels like, maybe my in-laws. But yeah, it was really lonely. So I was like, hey, I'm watching these people on YouTube and on Twitch. Maybe I should maybe I should do something like that. And I talked to my wife about it. She's like, well, if you want to make it a hobby, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Let's make it a hobby. Let's buy a computer, because I just had my work computer there at home, and bought a computer, bought a capture card, and plugged in, and followed DGR's path of playing Mario Maker. That's literally what it was. It was like, I really like DGR. Let's go play some Mario Maker. That's what it was.
And Mario Maker is a great community. Great community.
Yeah, and I didn't know that at the time. Like I just saw, I saw the people playing Mario Maker, and I was like, wow, these guys are way cool. I want to be kind of like them. Let's play this game and get better at it.
Sure.
It's awesome. The first 2 weeks were tough. You didn't know how to do any shell jumps, and you're playing viewer levels, and people come in like, hey, let's see you do some shell jumps. It's like, what's a shell jump? Didn't know that was actually a thing. I'm sure that's what everybody feels like anyway. But I not only was I playing Mario Maker, but I was like, I'm going to be different. I want to do something that nobody else has ever done before. I'm going to stream my work. And I was I was a civil engineer, designing things that probably shouldn't have been on Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, it was awesome. I would play Mario Maker for like 3 or 4 hours before work, starting my day early like I still do, and then I would work from the 8 or 9 to 5, working on civil engineering stuff. Never showing any information. I mean, maybe I accidentally did sometimes. We don't talk about that. But I had like half the screen blanked out with black blocks, and I just talked to people that came in. And like I said, the first day was 2020's election day, November 3rd. And so I was just monitoring that. That was up in the corner of my screen, and people were coming in and talking to me about that, even though I have no idea about anything about politics. I still to say I don't know anything about it. Don't talk to me about it. But that was a day that we were just monitoring it, and people came in and talked to me. It was awesome.
Yeah, just tracking the results. That's
it. Exactly.
What a great idea to stream on that day.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a whole lot of fun. People from all over that. Like, I remember my first follower coming in and talking to me, and he not knowing anything about it either, but I remember him, and he came in and just hung out with me for months after that.
Wow.
It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Jinzu. Shout out to him.
Oh, shout out.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. And then I remember I was there. You had an announcement. It was maybe a year ago. I don't remember what it was, but you decided to go full time.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this.
You're interested in this?
Oh yeah, I want to know what was the point that you had the epiphany I got to stop what I'm doing. This is it, and you just stopped and realized you needed to do content creating full time.
Honestly, I don't know if it's the smartest idea for anybody. It's just let's just put that out there first of all. I feel like all the dominoes just aligned. I don't know how do people actually say that? Everything just aligned perfectly. So last year, my wife and I were talking about selling our house. We're like, let's try to do it by ourselves. It didn't work out. We tried to sell it by ourselves. Did not work out. We then had a realtor help us, and it sold within a week, and it was significantly better of a price than we thought it was ever going to be, because we just sold at the exact right time. And we moved in with my in-laws. And this was before I had gone full time. This is when I was just streaming for fun. I mean, it's still fun. Let's be real about that. But I was still working every day after I was done streaming. And so we were doing that, and I was just miserable. I felt like I was not... I don't know how to describe this. I worked my tail off. I tried my best, but I also don't feel like I was getting to where I wanted it to be. And I don't know if that was anxiety or whatnot, but I never felt like I was doing well enough. And every day my wife just saw me miserable, and I was like, I need to change, babe. And she's like, okay, well, what are we going to do? And I was like, I don't know. So we started talking about me starting streaming full time. And I mean, I'm not making much. I don't know if this is what I'm allowed to talk about this, but I wasn't even making like $1,000 a month yet. Like, I'm not making any money. But we also moved in my in-laws, and we weren't paying a lot of money, right? Like, we're just basic living expenses. So I was like, you know what? I want to start. Maybe I'll go part-time work and part-time streaming, and like just do 5 hours each day. And she's like, oh, that's a good idea. And then work up to maybe full-time. But then we're talking to her parents, and never will I say that my father-in-law told me to quit my job, but I got the feeling from him that I should. Like, he said, if you're going to go full-time in this, you are right now in a perfect position that you can go full-time and do it and just see. Like, take a couple years, 2 or 3 years, and just see if you can do this. And so somehow I convinced my wife. I don't know how, because I know she has more, like, she thinks about, like, how are we going to get through this month more than anybody that I can think of, but with money. But I somehow convinced her, you know what, let's do this for 3 years, see if we can do this, and if not, I'll go back to school or I'll go work anywhere. Just let me try it for 3 years. Like, I'll do anything. And she said yes. So really excited about that.
How beautiful to have her support like that. Like, I know that's your partner in life. Like, I'm not married, but I understand like how important it is to have that life partner and to be on your side like that. And yeah, I mean, it seems like the perfect position to be in to do it full time.
Right.
But how great to have her family's support.
No kidding.
As well as hers.
Like, I didn't tell my mom and dad for like a month that I quit my job.
Wow.
Her parents and her brothers all knew it, and sister, and I was like, I don't know if I want to tell my parents that I just quit, a decently paying job to make a sixth of what I'm currently making, kind of thing. But
Right.
it's working out. My wife was in school for nursing. She'd graduated and started working as a nurse, and we're doing okay. So we're getting there. I still tell people I'm not making a living. Like, if my wife were not working right now, we would not. I would have to go get some kind of supplementary job. Like, it's not
Sure.
possible. So, just making sure that people understand that it's not an easy thing to say, hey, I'm doing this full time and I'm going to make millions or even tens of thousands of dollars. So.
Yeah, I feel like people see the check mark sometimes and they're like, oh my God, they're making bazillions of dollars from streaming.
Right.
No, it's still a grind, and it's still like, I still enjoy every day of work now, right? But it's also, I'm making less than, minimum wage still, it's crazy. I am just grateful that I have the opportunity to do this and still feel like I can do this for fun, even though it's technically what I'm supposed to be doing for my job.
Yeah.
And it really is like for those streamers that do make it huge. I mean, it's lightning in a bottle, right?
Right.
It's especially, I feel like, in modern day Twitch, maybe modern. And when the whole platform it's saturated, right? Everybody's streaming, especially in 2020,
right?
Exactly. Like
Yes.
when you started, there was this massive Twitch bubble. We all know there was,
Yep.
Because everybody's sitting at home. It's like, what do I do? Well, I watch Twitch. I can actually interact with people, or I stream. And so everybody was doing it, and Twitch had this massive bubble. Like, content creators were blowing up. Even the ones who were established and stuff, they blew up even bigger and bigger and bigger. And I feel like even like now, getting that it's definitely more difficult now as people are returning, back to work every day, sitting in the office where they don't have the time to sit and watch stuff all day or even stream at all anymore.
Yep.
Life just changes. It does, and the bubble is definitely not as big as it was almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
I got on Twitch the same time COVID. My first stream was May of 2020. Right in the thick of all of it.
Yeah. Nice.
So, Scherbie, I recently joined your Discord, and I like to keep the notifications on for people that I watch a lot or that I'm good friends with. And I get pinged, I think, every day that a YouTube video posts. Is that right?
Yeah, I've been working on shorts and trying to throw those out there as much as we can. Just using clips from my channel Again, in my head, the most important thing for becoming a Twitch streamer is consistency, and community. And I feel like I'm lucky enough to have the community and be a part of a community in the Mario Maker community that cares about what you're doing. And it's like the craziest thing that I have friends across the world that I've never met face to face. Like I'm finally meeting you guys face to face, right? Not even like touching though. This is all virtual still, and I feel like I am one of the most blessed human beings for the community that I get to be a part of, and then also for the support that they give me. But yeah, the YouTubes and TikTok. I don't have a business account or whatever that you can like schedule, so I still need to work through that. But I try to get things out every day, just so that I can grow and be noticed by something. Like you'll never know when somebody's going to notice you, or when like the algorithm's going to say, "Hey, this guy's actually, you're going to like what he's doing," kind of thing. But I don't know. I
found you through TikTok.
Exactly. See, so
yeah, I found you through. I don't go on TikTok very often, but I found your TikToks. You found my TikToks. It brought us to each other's channels, and I've been in your channel ever since. You just never know.
Exactly. So yeah, you just throw it out there and hope. I mean, yes, you want quality, but quantity sometimes is just what it is for now. For me, at least.
Of course.
You never know what video is going to be the one that grabs even one person's attention.
Exactly.
And that's why the quantity, and like you said, quality is great too, but quantity is, especially if you're doing short form content.
Yep.
Such as TikTok or something like that, or YouTube Shorts. That you just need to get the quantity out there.
Yep. Exactly.
And I was thinking about it earlier today. TikTok has the strangest algorithm. Like it's sometimes really good. Like you post something and like within 15 minutes, like 800 people have seen it. And then sometimes you post something and in like 24 hours, 30 people have seen it.
Yep.
It's like what was the same? It's like roughly the same amount of time length of a video. You're using like popular songs that people are putting in their videos at the time, graphics, everything like that. And you posted it roughly the same time of each day. It's like I don't know.
Yep. I don't know either. I have no idea. TikTok, I still have not figured out TikTok at all. I'm too old. Or something.
And
same.
Yeah. TikTok is. I just post clips occasionally. That's it.
Yep.
I don't do anything else on there.
Yep.
So you also do YouTube Shorts. You also do YouTube videos.
Yes.
Also.
So I used to actually, when I first started streaming, I had a Sunday morning stream where I would just do my YouTube videos, and I would show people how I was like, what I was thinking through it all, and like how to do it using a really crappy system, not a crappy system, a less than ideal
underdeveloped
app. Underdeveloped, yeah, that's a way better word than crappy. Anyway, it's not as good as what I use now, in my opinion. But I would show people just like my thought process and how to make it. And I mean, I don't claim to be like a storyteller. In fact, I feel like I might be the worst storyteller of all time. But I try to show the story of making a video every week kind of thing. And so I did a weekly post, and now there are people in my community that are just like, "Hey, Scherbie, I have a couple hours a week. Can I make a YouTube video for you?" I'm like, "Yeah."
That's awesome.
If I don't have to do it, please, I would love for you to do that. So, like, I mean, I'm not making any money on YouTube yet. You have to have over 1,000 followers or subs or whatever it is on there, and I'm just barely under that threshold right now. So, like, once I do make anything, I'm gonna start like giving them a portion of it. But I'm very grateful to them. I have 3 people right now. 4 people right now that are like, "Hey, I have a couple hours. Let me just do something for you." So please.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then that's I do my own. Generous. That's awesome.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. It's amazing what you see in people's communities sometimes. Stuff like that. Like that's so cool to hear.
Speaking of, I forgot to say that somebody edited in my one that went up today, so I need to go do that because it wasn't me that edited that one.
Scherbie, you were saying like how we as streamers, like we really get to care about the people who come join us in our communities and stuff. Do you ever think about how much they care about you? Isn't it overwhelming?
Yeah, don't. You're gonna stop it. Cry.
I'm sorry.
That's the thing. Like, I feel closer to these people, my friends, than people I see daily. I don't get to see daily anymore, right? Like, I don't see my family very often anymore because of all this, and like, I feel closer to some of these people than to my own family, which is horrible to think about that as like a family thing. But they've become my family. Like, I love it. And they know, like, my immediate family is my number one, but they've kind of just become my number two. It's I love it.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So when you stream, you start at what time in the morning do you start normally? I know you're very early.
Yeah, I start 7 a.m. Eastern, but I live mountain.
So 5 a.m.
So I start 5 a.m. Exactly.
Wow. So with that time frame, and I know you said that you have like friends all over the world. So with that time frame, you get definitely around the world at that time because there's a lot of people that's their evening.
The only people I don't really get are West Coast and mountain time zones, basically. Central people are waking up to get ready for work. Eastern, everybody's up getting to work. Europe and Australia are still up for a couple hours, but yeah.
And Bleachy B is sleeping.
Asian. And
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I am in the mountain time zone. I am sleeping, and I am a degenerate as well, so I'm still sleeping.
No. I should be sleeping. Let's be honest. No, I
5 a.m. That's early.
It is early, and the thing is, here's the thought. 5 a.m. is 100% too early for anybody to be awake. But again, I'm a huge DGR fan, and I've come to love Slade and other huge Mario Maker streamers. But those are the two communities that I feel like I've bonded most with as a smaller community or a smaller creator. And DGR starts at 10 my time usually, or let's see, 10 a.m. Eastern, so 8 a.m. my time. So that was 3 hours before, and that's when it was one of my thoughts was like, I don't want to try to like stream at the same time as him. And then I had to work at the time, and it's like, okay, 5 a.m. is the time to do it. That way I go to sleep at my normal time, 9 or 10, and wake up at 4, and like I don't miss any time with my family, whatever. Now that I'm full time, I do it so I can get done early enough so that I can be with my family afterwards.
Right.
And so like I get done at noon. Right at noon I can hang out with my 3-year-old and now baby and my wife, unless she's working, and then I can be there when my kids get home from school. And that's the thought process. If I were to do it any other time, I'd make excuses to myself of like, oh, I'm too busy now. Like yesterday evening, I'm supposed to be streaming Mario Kart for a charity I'm doing right now, and I'm busy until right then. It's like I gotta get back to do this, and I hated that. Like, I love just waking up, going showering, getting out of bed, or getting out of the shower and going straight to streaming, and then doing it until I'm done. Like, it's so much easier than...
Is that routine?
Yeah, the routine. Consistency, again. I will always preach the consistency, and that's the easiest way to make it consistent is doing it right when you wake up. Otherwise, I'll make excuses.
Right.
Yep.
That's and that was gonna be my question, but you answered. I was like, are you the type of roll right out of bed and just hit go live, or do you shower up beforehand?
I always shower. Yeah. I do. The thing is, like, when I have longer hair, especially, I get really sweaty and I'm super greasy, so I have to shower, or else I just feel gross and smell myself, and I smell. So. Yeah, I have to shower. But you guys can't smell it. But for me, myself, I'm in a freaking teeny closet, and I have to shower.
Is that a closet?
Yeah, it's maybe 5 by 5.
Wow.
So I have to open a door to make sure that I get air in here every so often.
Oh my god!
I have a fan on when it gets too hot in the summer. Yep.
Speaking of the charity event last night,
yeah,
I was there.
Yeah,
Dave Ponchataco, you were there.
I was there. Let me tell you about the events that transpired.
Oh, no.
I was tuning in at night, That's when I do a lot of my, especially nowadays, a lot of my watching is because I'm not working from home, so I don't have like a stream up next to me while I'm working. So a lot of the day I don't get to watch as much as I used to. But in the evenings, that's when I do my browsing. Go visit. And I saw, Scherbie's online. Let me stop by and see what's going on. He's playing Mario Kart with some other people. Okay, cool. Let's see what's going on. So I come in, and the first thing I see at the top of the chat is there's a poll that says, "Should I put my foot in mayo?" I'm like, what is this? And now, before going any further, this has been like a joke amongst like us. We go into like our friends' streams and stuff. We're like, how many subs to put feet in mayo? And nobody ever takes it serious, right? Nobody does it.
Bleachy.
Okay.
Yeah. Bleachy might be the closest one to doing it. But then I saw so I was like, what's going on? So I hung around for a few minutes, and sure enough, 8 minutes later, there's Scherbie put the camera down. He's putting his foot right into mayo.
Why would anybody even suggest that? Listen, it was for charity. No regrets, all right? No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. I love those commercials.
Yeah.
No,
it was just the funniest thing.
Pretzels to Go comes into chat and says, "I see you're doing a charity event. How much to put your foot in mayo?" I hadn't heard this before. I was like, I don't know, $25, sure, whatever. And I forget that Pretzels to Go is totally one of those people. $25. 2 seconds later, literally had it in it, like ready to go. Types in charity, $25 in. I was like, okay. I go grab the bowl. I come back, and Pretzels to Go is like, no, you don't have to do it, dude. I'm like, okay, but you told me to do it. Thanks for $25, whatever. And then like,
I agreed.
I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a man of my word. I'll do it, whatever you say. But he's like, no, don't do it. I was like, okay, whatever. And then like, I see the chat still talking about it. 5 minutes later, I'm like, okay, whatever. Run a poll. And so we did. And it so happened that it was 5-4 or something like that. And I was like, you know what? You paid the $25. You told me to put it in. I have it here. I'll put my toe in. And I put my toe in. It wasn't my whole foot.
At least you did it for charity, unlike our dear friend.
Hi.
Bleachy
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I don't know if we can mention his name, but he paid you to eat, like, what was it, a cup of mayonnaise?
No, it was multiple cups. I think that's what it got to.
Multiple cups.
It was at least 2 full cups, like a measuring cup.
Yeah, I did a
there.
stream where I think it was like every 5 subs. No, or was it 2 subs? I did a tablespoon of mayonnaise. And Pretzels just dropped as many as he
subs
could.
isn't that much.
He just went crazy. That guy's a madman. He will pay any amount of money to see just some kind of excruciating mental pain.
I love it.
The mayo wasn't that bad though.
Mayo is
It
good.
wasn't that
Mayo was
bad.
good.
Could I have used like a? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, could I use like some fries to dip it in? Like, could I have a vehicle to put the mayo in? Because I could do that, but straight mayo, man, or straight butter.
Okay,
Ashley,
yeah.
like
True.
Normally,
I don't know.
Normally, the first few bites are like pretty okay, and then it goes downhill pretty quickly when it's just straight.
I bet.
oh my gosh.
So I saw a clip of you, Jackson, just the other day. You were online late, and I missed whatever happened here, but I just saw you casually pop a piece of toilet paper in your mouth. Was there any incentive to that? Or were you just like, yo, I'm just gonna eat this piece of toilet paper?
No, I just did that. I just saw there's a toilet paper roll by me that I was using to blow my nose because I was a little bit sick around that time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a square and see how it tastes. I don't even think I turned it into a Twitch moment. I should have. I don't know why I didn't do that. People are asking for it because I just impromptu ate a square of toilet paper, but you know, part of the stream.
Wasn't the first time.
You've eaten toilet paper like an apple before.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, wait. I don't think I swallowed that apple bite. I just bit into the toilet paper like an apple, and then I spit it out. So there's that was more a feat of strength than anything. That wasn't an actual endurance test.
You ate crayons.
Have we talked about this yet? I feel like we've talked about this. Maybe we haven't.
I can just see Scherbie sit there like, who is this guy?
I love him already.
Crayons now?
I'm just your casual Mario Maker streamer. Nothing else. Nothing.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, I had crayons. There's not much more to it. I got paid money by Pretzels to do that one, so I don't feel as bad mentally.
Is anyone surprised by that?
Of course.
You shouldn't be.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Oh man, I have not eaten. The only things that I've eaten on stream was 6 feet of Slim Jims,
Ooh.
Yep.
which that's nothing compared to eating straight up mayo or a stick of butter or something like that. But still, 6 feet of Slim Jim. I did eat that one time, and then I did. This wasn't like any type of incentive or anything like that. I just wanted to try it, but I also tried Flamin' Hot Cheeto Mountain Dew. There's a flavor for that, and that was interesting. It's like you take a sip. The first sip isn't that bad, but then at the end, it's like got the cinnamon taste that just sticks in your throat, like the tingle from cinnamon. And it was like, this isn't that good.
Ew.
Yeah, the first sip is like, okay, the flavor's not bad, but it was that thing that whatever stuck around after a while. It was like, oh, okay, this is not great. And you ended up just drinking more to get rid of that taste in the background.
I was gonna say, some streamers, they do that, we eat weird stuff like a stick of butter. I was gonna say some do the hot chip challenge. Bleachy did the hot chip challenge and then used butter
Genius.
to try to get the heat out of his mouth.
And it worked. It worked. So I did the hot chip challenge, and it was very hot, and I didn't expect it to be that hot. Thankfully, I had a stick of butter right next to me, so I just coated my tongue in a stick of butter. That's all. And it worked. It helped out. It's a genius strategy if you're gonna do the hot chip challenge.
And a stick of
Maybe
butter.
next time.
Yeah, and a stick of butter. Yeah.
There's a
Next time you have
clip,
something hot.
and honestly, the clip is comedy gold because Bleachy takes the bite of the hot chip, and it's like, oh, this isn't, it's everybody's response, oh, this isn't that bad, and then suddenly it hits, and he's like on fire, and he's like frantically looking around, and the one thing he grabs, he just suddenly a stick of butter comes out, and he's just rubbing it on his tongue. It was comedy gold. It was comedy gold. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I try.
Well, this last week during my stream, we were doing the charity event, and for every bit people were given, I was putting on different condiments for a sandwich, and cheeses and meats, etc. And so, like $5 or $10 were for good condiments and good meats and cheeses. $30 and $40 were for different, is what I call them, non-typical sandwich things. And so, or for at least for me, because I would never eat Spam or sardines, or let's see, I had chocolate syrup, soy sauce. Anyway, of course, the first sandwich I eat happened to be a ham, turkey, fry sauce, chocolate syrup. I can't read, tuna, soy, Spam sandwich.
Ooh.
Wow.
And totally honestly here, the worst part of that sandwich was the chocolate syrup. Everything else
Really?
tasted amazing. Like, yeah.
Ooh.
I love
Did you have to finish the sandwich?
Oh, yeah. I ate the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was delicious. Every time we made up to $200 in the community, I was like, all right, I'll eat one sandwich. And that's what we did. It was awesome.
That's a great incentive though. That's some great stuff there. That's
perfect.
awesome.
I love
I
it.
saw sardines on the list, and I was like, please, nobody pick
I hate
that for poor
sardines.
Scherbie.
It just reminds me of that movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. If you guys have not seen that, one of the first lines in there is when everyone realized that sardines are super gross, and it's just the truth. Why would anybody? I mean, that's just my opinion. Of course, there might be one or two people in the world that actually like sardines, but that would be literally it.
I've never had sardines. Never
Me
had
either.
them. Correct me if I'm wrong, sardines, but they still have like the eyes on them, right? Like they're just the fish.
I honestly don't know either, because nobody's made me eat it yet, but it's still there.
Okay. I feel like you open it up and it's literally just the dead fish. I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what it is.
I don't like fish. Period. So there's that.
Ugh.
Tuna's as close to fish as I'll eat. Wait, that is a fish, but
Yeah.
Right.
it's a chicken
I get
of the
it.
sea.
The way it's prepared.
Sure.
The way it's prepared.
Sure.
What about, has anybody ever tried anchovies?
No.
I've never actually met somebody who's tried anchovies.
Did you know that anchovies are a common ingredient in Caesar salad dressing.
Yes.
No.
I did.
Yeah.
That.
I did not know that until like 2 months ago. So
It's
Bleach,
in
you're
the
welcome.
dressing. Yeah.
Who decided
But
that?
that's
Who just was like, you know what? Caesar times, anchovy time as well.
I like Caesar
Well-
salad, but I don't like it. I don't think I'll like it. Maybe I should just try them. Maybe I'll like them.
Maybe
Probably
they're
not.
great.
No, probably
maybe they're
not.
great.
They're fish.
We can always pretend.
I couldn't look. If I had to eat that, I have to close my eyes.
100%. 100%.
Ooh, no, thank you. I had to pick a couple toppings for you. I think one of the ones I picked was actually mayo.
Yeah. And cheese.
That was pre mayo feet.
Yeah.
I picked mayo for you.
Yeah, that-
Mayo toe.
It came from the same bottle, but no, it was delicious. Thank you. That was
wasn't-
actually the second one, and it was significantly better because the worst thing on that one was hot sauce, and I like the taste of the hot sauce. It was hot,
Yum.
but I like the taste of it.
I like
Nice.
that you said it came from the same bottle and not the same bowl.
It was in a bowl.
Mayo.
It's because I didn't know that somebody was going to have me put my foot in a bowl until the day after. Jeez. Who does
He
that?
definitely tried to get you to then eat
Yes, he did.
the rest of the mayo after.
Hey, if he had paid more to charity, I probably would have. I don't know how much I would have eaten of it.
You were a good sport, though. You were like anything for charity.
Yeah,
It was
dude.
very
Yeah.
sweet.
That's what I'll
Charity's
do.
the best.
And
Maybe next time you'll do it for charity, Bleach.
You wouldn't have
just
to
think how
pay
much
that
money you'd raise with what you've already eaten so far. There's no limit apparently.
Yeah, I'd have to come up with some crazy ideas in order for me
Just
to
use
get to
the
the
same
anything
ideas.
for charity point.
Just use
So-
your same ideas. I mean, toilet paper already. I mean, I know I had paid $25 for that. Just take a bite of that.
Nice profits for charity.
Profits for charity.
So Scherbie, I've been talking about charity. I don't know if we talked specifically about it. What charity was it?
So we were. I was asked by a place called Do Good Points, which is kind of like a charity hub where you can go and find different kinds of charities to stream for. And we are streaming for Games for Love. They are a charity that helps children in a lot of different ways. One way is similar to the Starlight Foundation, if you know what that is. They get video games into the hands of kids in the hospitals, but they also have ways to like help kids in less developed countries and other ways of like getting technology and learning technology, etc. It's really cool.
Beautiful cause.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And there was quite a few of you doing that, right?
Yeah, we have like 10 of us doing it, and it's a lot of people within the Mario Maker community. And I was actually worried about that because, like, I feel like a lot of our communities overlapped, and so like we had a lot of
That's
people
true.
that were watching one, and I hoped that there wasn't like some kind of like charity. What would you call that? Like burnout.
Yeah.
Right.
From that.
Yeah.
Because anyway, so like the first person goes and then it's like, oh well, yay, charity, woo, and then the next day it's like, oh, charity, woo, and then the next day it's like charity. Anyway, we're going for a week and there's 10 of us and a lot of us are in the same community, but it's actually been amazing. Mario Kart was part of that last night and it was just a heck ton of fun.
It was very fun.
Doing it again
And
today actually.
When is the charity? When are you guys done? I guess?
I think we'll be done on Sunday, but I don't stream on Sunday, so I'll be done today. But other charities will be or other streamers will be done with the charity tomorrow.
And are you able to share, or I don't know if you're ready to share? I don't know if it's public or anything like that, but like how much you guys have raised so far?
Yeah, we've just raised
collectively?
over 6,000 yesterday.
Nice.
Between
Wow.
us. And it's
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, totally amazing.
Amazing.
So, shout out to all the people that have been doing that because like we got a whole lot of us. I don't even know if I could name out all of them because there's so many of us. But it's been a lot of fun.
I know for me, I'm good friends with quite a few of the people doing the charity event, so I was like, how do I support all my friends?
Right.
And I was like, let me just give like a small amount to
Everyone.
each one.
Love it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh no, it's a beautiful thing.
Agreed.
It's such a beautiful cause, and it's an honor.
Agreed.
So, I got to ask you another question here, Scherbie.
Okay.
I've seen lately that you have been you've made it evident according to your stream titles that you're 35 years old. And you have never played Mario. So you're doing a first play of Mario 64.
Yes.
In 35 years, you've never touched Mario 64.
Not once. So I asked my siblings, like, did we play Mario 64 at all? And they're like, we didn't have it at the house ever. And I played at this person's house. I played at this person's house. It was a lot of fun, but we never really needed it. So growing up, I had 7 siblings. And at the time, let's see, 96, all of them were home except for like 2 of them. Or no, 98. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So not many people were there, or a lot of people were there all the time for our video games. And so we seemed to gravitate towards the multiplayer games. So I played a heck ton of Tony Hawk Skater. I know that's only a 2-player. It was only 2 players at the time. Played a lot of Smash Brothers. Played a lot of something called Iggy's Wrecking Ball. If you ever heard of that game.
Okay.
Anytime my brothers went to Blockbuster, they'd try to find something that was multiplayer and bring it home. And like my little brother and I, we were talking just this last week. Is like my older brother Paul. Paul, do you remember Iggy's Wrecking Ball? He's like, no. And it's like, you brought that home and you were so excited about it, and we played it for hours with you, and we were just like it was our favorite. And he's like, I don't remember that at all. I was like, my little brother John and I were like, yeah, that was the time. That was the time of our lives, was playing with our oldest brother and like playing Iggy's Wrecking Ball. Anyway, so I never played Mario 64 until this, like, just a month ago I started. And I'm currently like 50 stars in. I still have no idea what I'm doing. I've seen people do. I know how to do the backwards long jump, but I don't know how to do any of the glitchy stuff with it. I just seen myself do a backwards long jump, so I'm pretty proud of myself with that.
That is pretty good. That's pretty impressive.
So, are you planning to go for 100%? Is that what you're aiming for right now?
I just say how I'd play it as a kid. And usually I'd play something until I got bored of it, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So
Wow.
I currently think I have everything that I could have gotten so far. I have no idea. I honestly like, people are like, oh, you need to talk to this person to get a star. Like, I was supposed to talk to Toad to get a star, and I was like, I didn't know that. So I would probably have missed those ones, but I'm not bent on definitely getting 100%. I just want to enjoy the game, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember that game. I've never gotten 100% in it either. I don't typically 100% games ever.
Right.
I just play till I'm good. Similar to you, I just play until I'm like, I've got my fill. I don't need any more. I had a great time with this game.
Right.
And there's a lot of hidden stuff in that game. There's a lot of hidden stuff.
I believe it. And I probably will not find it, and people will be like, hey, you need to go do this, and they'll tell me where it is, and that's fine. I don't care. Like, I want to experience it for myself for the first time, but if they want to, like, see some kind of spoiler thing, like, I'm fine with that. I don't really care. I just want to enjoy the game, and as long as I'm enjoying it, other people are enjoying it, I believe, because I don't know. That's what people tell me.
So
that energy like comes off though. Like,
right.
I've seen you play it a couple of times, and you can tell that you're just having such a good time with it. It just makes everybody else have fun and have a good time too.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
So Mario 64, it's like a beloved game.
Right.
So I assume you've played modern 3D Marios beforehand, like Odyssey and stuff.
Yes, I had.
So
I even played, like, I remember playing Sunshine because I bought my own GameCube and bought my own games on there, and I remember playing Sunshine a lot. I loved Odyssey, and then I played Galaxy 2. I never had played Galaxy 1 until this year, actually, as well.
Okay, so how does Mario 64 feel after playing all the modern Mario, especially Odyssey, when they've like perfected 3D platforming and it just feels so fluid, it's so good. How does that feel going back to 64 as somebody who you've never played 64 before?
I mean, it's amazing that they did that, what they did with the technology they had, 100%. I mean, everybody complains about the camera, and I can see the complaints about the camera, especially when it's like really close to a wall and like you can't maneuver it the way you want it to. But honestly, it feels so good. Like it's up there with the ones that I've played previously. No, not gonna lie. Just the camera when it's like up against the wall is only when I'm feeling like claustrophobic. I don't know. or not claustrophobic. Like I can't move the way I can't move the way I want to.
Yeah.
Whatever
Good
that word
take.
is. Is there a word for that? Anyway, inhibited,
Probably.
Probably.
You feel squished.
squished. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. It's something.
I'm almost the same age as you. I'll be 35 in May. And I remember when the game came out, I've only actually played Mario 64 is the only 3D Mario I've ever played.
Oh, yeah?
I know, and I've never played the other ones. And I only beat the game one time, but I did 100% it when I beat it. I'm kind of a 100% person. And I just remember getting the game, playing it, and my brother was with me, my younger brother. I was so floored. I just thought graphics could never get better than that in my whole life.
Well, on those TVs, the polygons didn't look nearly as bad as they do now, and they
Yes.
still look
True.
decent now for 64. But on those TVs, I feel like somehow they made it look fine.
That's always something I've thought is, and I think a lot of people do too, is that first generation stepping into 3D, whether it was PlayStation 1, N64, etc., those games have aged the worst as far as the looks, right? And there is controls as well in some of those games because they were just getting used to 3D space and everything. They didn't have like the second stick for a lot of camera control yet or anything like that. So there's definitely some aging going on there,
Right.
or it didn't age as well, I should say, as opposed to like Super Nintendo is still so replayable, right? Those SNES games or Genesis
yeah.
stuff like that. And they even bleed into modern day, if you will, with like Mario Maker. It's not the exact same game, but it's similar, similar look and feel, of course.
Yep.
And especially with like indie games just blowing up every day, some new side scroller, it just ages well forever. It feels like.
Yep.
So obviously now Mario 64 it can't be an answer for you, but Shuri, what is your greatest gaming sin? Like the game that you just haven't played that it's like everybody in the world has played this, you just have never played it. What's your biggest gaming
Well, I
sin?
can't say Mario 64 anymore, so that's
You're
hard.
playing it now. Yeah.
Can I get back to you on that one? Like,
Yeah.
I have to think that
Yeah.
one through. I don't know. I don't really think about things unless asked, and so like more of an in the moment guy.
Yeah, if you could think of like a game that people are like, oh, have you played this? And you're always like, gosh, no, I'm really meaning to one day.
Okay, I got it. I mean, I'm a Nintendo guy through and through, so I never had a PlayStation.
Sure.
So you can think of any of those games. I never played Banjo.
Okay.
Or no, not Banjo. Crash Bandicoot. I never played Kingdom Hearts. I never played Spyro.
Wow.
All those. Because I've been a Nintendo guy for my whole life, and then we got an Xbox when it came out. But like, yeah, that's nothing with PlayStation, and it's not. I've always hated the controller of the PlayStation, personally.
Sure.
And that's always been like the reason I haven't bought a PlayStation or played PlayStation. It's the weirdest thing, right?
No, I'm exactly the same
I do
way.
agree with maybe the first PS1 through 3 because they're all, well, especially PlayStation 1 when they redid it with the sticks, because the original PS1 didn't have the sticks, it was just the D-pad. And then they released one, the DualShock, whatever, that had the sticks. And then 1, 2, and 3, very small change iterations. And then once they got to PS4, it started to feel better. And PS5, I think PS5, the DualSense is really good.
Well, it's started too late for me. I'm too old. I can't change the PlayStation. Sorry.
Too bad.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I totally would if I just never bought it.
That is a thing though, like going between all these controllers, A, B,
Hard.
X, Y,
Yeah.
square, triangle, circle.
Right. I mean, I remember first playing Xbox and being like, why in the world did they change A and B? Why in the world did they change X and Y? Like, Nintendo did it fine. Just follow them. It's okay. And then I play PlayStation. It's like, what are these? I don't know my shapes. I want my letters back.
Oh god.
Let's see. What have you guys been playing anything in the past month? And we always try to touch to see if anybody's been playing anything, whether on stream, if it's unusual you don't normally play this, or if it's off stream or anything. Ashley, have you been doing anything?
No. So, I mean, I'm such a gamer at heart, and normally I'm playing something off stream. Lately, life has just gotten so crazy. You guys know I talk all the time that I'm in the middle of my fourth 100% playthrough of Breath of the Wild. I'm almost done, and I know.
Let's go.
I know. I love the game so much. Right now, you can ask me any day of the week how many days it will be until the new Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, comes out, which it's 160 today, by the way.
Good, I was going to ask.
It's close.
Oh, I'll tell you any day. I am taking off at least a few days from work when that game comes out. I did that for Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I'm 34. I have like a serious 9-to-5 job, but I'm taking off from my 9-to-5 to play Zelda for multiple days.
I love it.
Because that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not playing anything off stream right this second. But once Tears of the Kingdom comes out, May 12th, 2023, midnight, I will be absolutely consumed.
And will you be streaming it at all?
I haven't thought about it. I haven't. So I want to say I've thought about the day it comes out, right? Because I know I'll do a physical copy. I'll go at midnight release. I'll go get my game and come home. And the game just means so much to me. Maybe I will pop on stream and react to it like instantly. I haven't made an 100% decision yet, but I'm just gonna be playing it so much that I don't even know. It's a few months away, so we'll see if I end up streaming like the whole playthrough. But I mean, I like to explore, take my time. Like, I'm not a speedrunner when I first do a full length Zelda game. I just want to look around. So it might be a super boring stream, but we'll see.
I think as long as the streamers having a great time enjoying themselves, I think people like watching it. There's definitely that element to it.
I'll probably cry. If you've ever played Breath of the Wild or seen somebody, the part in the beginning where you play for like an hour or so and then it stops and then it's the cutscene where it actually shows the title of the game. It says Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh, I bawled my eyes out.
So good.
I bawled my eyes out when I first played. So
what about you, Jackson? Have you been playing anything? On stream, off stream?
Off stream, I finished up and 100%ed the what's it called? Bowser's Fury. It's the Super Mario 3D World add-on. That's on the Switch. Yeah. It's a pretty short game, pretty easy, but it's got a good aesthetic. As far as like 3D Mario games go, probably the least played by far, and not even really considered a game. More of an add-on to a game than anything, but it does a good job of taking the 3D Mario platforming aspect and applying it to a more open worldish environment. So it had been a while since I'd touched a game, like over a year, definitely. But I just felt the need to go back and beat it and then get all the little cat shines in that game because the game focuses on cats for whatever reason.
Cat suit.
Yeah, we love climbing things.
Yeah. We do. Scherbie, you sound like a super busy person. Do you play games off stream at all, or is all your gaming always on stream?
So I mean, I have kids that love video games. And anytime that I can get them to play things that I'll play. I'm not a Minecraft guy, but my son loves it, and so I've seen him playing that and love watching him do that, but I don't play that. I do play, like, I don't know, Smash Brothers. We've played a little bit of Mario Strikers. Let's see what other things. I don't remember. Just whatever multiplayer games that we have that they want to play, I'll play with them, and I love it. But I mean, like, I just got done with my first playthrough of Mario RPG, Super Mario RPG on the NES or SNES.
Oh yeah.
Last month. That was crazy awesome. Playing Ironmon stuff on stream. These are all on stream though. and I played this game called Super Mario Maker 2. Like, it's super cool. And and then Mario 64. But I have like I want to play a lot of things, and it's bad because I don't know what I'll do. Because as a streamer, like, I have 7 hours a day to stream video games, and as a streamer that is full time streaming something, I have to weigh the options, because I do love Mario Maker 2, but I have to weigh how long do I want to play this game if I want to experience a different game. Mm-hmm. And so right now, like, for example, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, I haven't played any of them, even though I'm going to, mostly because I have the schedule that I've been working on. And so, like, next week I'm going to start Violet for the first time, and I'm really excited about that. Pikmin 4, I'm more excited about Pikmin 4, sadly, than Zelda, even though Zelda's one of my favorite games of all time, just because of how much I've waited for Pikmin 4. I think I might have cried. And I don't. It's like the second time I've mentioned crying today, and I don't cry that often. But like when I finally saw that there was going to be a Pikmin 4, I was just so excited, because Pikmin was one of those games that my brother brought to me during the GameCube time and said, "Hey Tommy, this is a good game. You should play it." And I was like, "This looks weird, okay, but since you like it and you're 10 years older than I am, I'm gonna like it because I want to be cool like you." But no, really, I played that game and I loved it. Got number 2, loved it. Number 3, my wife and I played through that one, loved it. Like, Pikmin's one of my favorites. And then I'm really excited for Zelda as well. But they are also coming out on Switch with Tales of Symphonia. If you guys have not played a Tales season or a Tales game, it's one of my favorite games of all time. The storyline is just so captivating.
Is Tales of Symphonia, is that the one that was on GameCube?
Yes, and it had 2 discs.
Okay.
Okay. And
I only played a demo for it. I did not play the entirety.
It was my favorite
like
game.
On a disc.
It was my favorite game of all time before Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's getting a Switch release.
And they're getting a Switch release. So it's like it's an RPG, but it's not turn-based. But you go into a fight like a turn-based fight, but you start fighting. Anyway, it's a really fun game.
Awesome.
I don't know how to explain
That's cool.
it. And the storyline again is just captivating. This is why I played it. It was definitely not something that I thought I was gonna love, but I loved it.
That's awesome.
Getting a Switch release, I'll try it for sure.
I've been since having a new baby, me being up late has allowed me to catch up on some games that I've been wanting to play back in the backlog and stuff. So I finally got around to playing God of War 3.
Nice.
Which has been released, I don't know, PlayStation Essentials or something like that. So I was able, it comes free with PlayStation Plus essentially. So I was able to download that, and man, that's a fun game, God of War. I've played the first God of War. I never did play God of War 2. But I did read up like the summary of events, because God of War 3 just starts off like literally like where God of War 2, like some huge fight on Mount Olympus that you're on. It just picks up right there. So I had to read up the synopsis of 2 of why we're here. And then I've also played the 2018 soft reboot of God of War, which is a fun game too. But 3, it still has like that, you can't really control the camera. You can kind of maybe angle it slightly, but it's still isometric, I think is the term. For the most part, but it's a fun combat game, just really fun controls. The story's pretty good, just full of epic moments, fighting these titans that are 10,000 times your size, just some really cool stuff. And it's like you're this demigod that all the time just like, I'm angry, just 24/7 and just like killing things. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun beating that game.
I hear that God of War 3 is a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah, I can see why. I feel like, especially if you played the first 2 all the way through, it's a great ending to a trilogy. At least initially, what was a trilogy until the 2018 soft reboot. And I only say soft reboot because they completely changed the controls, how the game is even played. They have a more mature, like, mentally matured, I mean, I don't know, mature, maybe calmed down Kratos, He's not quite as just like angry all the time or anything like that. So, but both great games. But I really did like God of War 3. I had a lot of fun with that. I was also able to. I've not gotten super far in it, but I've been having a good time with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
I didn't know you were playing that.
Yeah, it's I believe it's a PS5 exclusive, and so it didn't go back to PS4 or anything. But man, it's got to be one of the prettiest games I've ever played. Like the color. If you guys have ever seen a Ratchet and Clank game before, what it even looks like it's just a really stylistic. It's not cartoon. It's I don't know. It's like watching like a CGI movie or something like that. It's that type of graphics. It's not realism at all or anything, but it's just really pretty as they're jumping between dimensions. What they do with the camera and stuff, which they claim can only be done on the current gen hardware or something like that. I don't know, whatever. There's a lot of RTX going on in the background and stuff to make the lighting very realistic and reflections and stuff. Really, just a really, really pretty game. I've only been a few hours into that, but I am enjoying the playthrough. That came out a couple of years ago, I know.
Yeah, that was one of the that was one of the games or one of the franchises that I missed out on PlayStation stuff. So again,
I've played only one other Ratchet and Clank before. It was it was a PS3 one, I think. Something in Partners in Time. No, something time based. I can't remember what it is now, but I had a really fun time with that. Just the guns that you get in the game are absolutely ridiculous. Just fun stuff that it's like who even thought of this type of gun or something like that. Like you're shooting helicopters out that are then roaming around shooting enemies and stuff. It's just goofy stuff like that, but it's fun combat and just fun arenas that they put you in and stuff. And then fun puzzles too. If you're Clank the robot, there's always some fun time based puzzles and stuff that you're manipulating time and everything. Just some cool stuff that they do there. And then there's one other game I got to talk about. One other game that I have to talk about because on my stream I've talked about this series before many a times, and I've also, even in the last episode of it, I said I tried buying one of these games. I tried buying Sonic Colors, which I still have here.
No.
I've been very adamant that 3D Sonic is not good.
Then why do you keep buying them? Stop.
I don't keep buying them. I just tried it because people are telling me 3D Sonic might be halfway decent now. So I bought Sonic Colors for $13 to give it a shot. And last episode I said
for a deal.
Yeah. I was like, well, for $13 I can dip my toe in. Is it actually good? It's supposed to be, it's like it's one of the more recent Sonic games that people are saying is a good one. So I got it for $13 at Best Buy. They had a deal going on. And I didn't like it. So they came out with a new game, Sonic Frontiers, if you've seen. And I was watching some people play it on stream, and I was like, this looks kind of cool. It has definitely some inspiration from Breath of the Wild in there. A whole lot of inspiration from Breath of the Wild, I should say.
Yes, yeah. I agree.
And I was like, well, you know what? Last episode, the game had come out maybe like a week before, and I was like, when this game inevitably goes on sale for like half price, I will buy it. A week later, it was on sale for half price. So I was like, all right, I'm putting my wallet where my mouth is. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to play it. So I bought it, and I put it in the PlayStation, and I'm playing it, and I kind of like it.
Wow.
I kind of like it. I've never found a 3D Sonic game that I like, but I kind of like this. The controls are good. Sonic feels good finally in a 3D, like, I wouldn't even say a 3D environment. I've never thought Sonic felt good to control, ever. Even in the 2D stuff, I've never thought he felt good. But he actually feels good here. You actually get a good sense of speed, which is cool. And it is very Breath of the Wild. You start off on this big, giant frontier, Sonic Frontiers. And it's just going around. You have a blank map. You can't see anything on it. You're going around. You're finding, like, statues or finding small little puzzles that you do a small puzzle. They're never very difficult. They're really easy, just like, match colors, whatever. It's just to expand the map a little bit. And then you expand the map, and then you eventually find these statues that you go in, and they give you kind of like the more, I don't know if traditional is the word, but traditional 3D Sonic, where you're just running kind of straight, dodging a little bit, jumping, making sure you're not hitting any people. And those actually kind of feel good too. which I've never thought they did before. They have some good speed running in them where you're trying to beat the clock, and they're actually quite challenging, but they feel achievable. And I've been playing the game probably 10 hours so far.
Wow.
Which is more than which is at least like 10 times more than I've ever put into a 3D Sonic.
Nice.
And I think I'm going to keep playing it. I beat the first world, which took me that long or something like that, because I was just doing exploring and stuff like that. It still has some stuff that I'm not a huge fan of. I don't know. There's on the technical side, there's a lot of pop-in, and maybe it's just because you're running so fast. I don't know. Where just suddenly something will appear out of the sky over next to you. It's like, well, I couldn't see that 10 feet ago. Why did that just appear suddenly? This big piece of geometry. But I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. Which I never thought I'd actually say about a Sonic game, that I'm having fun playing Sonic.
Good.
I laughed because the last podcast episode you predicted that it was gonna go on sale like a week after the episode aired. It was on sale for exactly what you said it would probably be on sale for.
The thing is that when we recorded that episode, somebody had sent me a link, either maybe it was in a general Discord or a DM, I can't remember. But before that episode had gone live, there was already like a Walmart deal for $39 on it. When we were re-recording that, and I didn't even know that. I was like, wow. This game came out a week ago. What's going on? But I knew the game inevitably would drop, and I don't know if value is the right word, but it would go on sale really quick. And I was like, well, it did. I'm gonna put my wallet where I put my mouth last week. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a try because it's relatively cheap entry to get in to test it out, and I kind of like it. I think I'm gonna keep playing it.
Nice.
And the funny thing is that when I play it, my daughter, almost 3 years old, she's sitting there and she's like, "Daddy, Sonic is my favorite." So she's like, I love Sonic, Daddy. I'm
what
like,
are you
okay,
doing?
Great.
What a
I gotta start
terrible
playing
influence.
something else. You're not allowed to like Sonic. Like
Aww.
But no, she likes watching it because I don't normally play games in the house because I have my office out here with all my consoles hooked up and stuff. So I don't typically play in the house. If I do, it's a handheld Switch or something like that. But she's enjoyed watching it though.
Cool.
Which I'm like, it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Anybody else have any other games that they're playing or anything?
No.
Just playing the typical Mario Maker 2, but
classic,
as we all do.
Way too much.
However, I'm not a gamer like all y'all. For a long time, I really didn't. I just hung out in Mario Maker streams. I didn't really play it very often, but now I grind it all the time, and I'm just starting to play expert levels.
Ooh,
nice.
I can barely do a shell jump, but the most beautiful thing that has come from it is a lot of really amazing gamers in the community will come out, and people like I'll play a level they could probably beat in 2 minutes, and it'll take me 2 hours, and at the end I beat it. And there they are. Great job, GG. And I'm like, you stayed for 2 hours and watched me play this level.
It's so amazing.
That's a baby level. It's so beautiful. The community is just so, we're all so supportive of each other. Everyone's always like, oh, I remember my first shell jump. I remember my first expert endless run. So it's so nice as I try to get on everybody's level that they're so supportive. It's a beautiful thing.
Amen.
No, that's cool. That's cool. And eventually, I mean, I sometimes, I don't know, shell jumping, I get into my head when I'm going to go do it, and then I can't do it. If I don't think about it, I can do it. But it definitely becomes just muscle memory at one point. Yep. At some point, it just does.
Yeah.
And when I start to overthink it, I'll fail every time. But I just have to just kind of just cruise control it, if you will. And it just kind of works.
Yep, same here.
Yeah. So we've as we've been doing the podcast, we've been advertising that we do have a phone number that people can call into and leave a voicemail for us. We do have a voicemail this week that I would like to play. This should come through on the audio, and it should come through on Discord here. So let me pull this up. Somebody from the community has a question. And let me see, where did I put that?
better be a good one.
Oh, here we go. This is from Piano Bar 77 in the community. Let me go ahead and play this. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. If not, I have a transcript here that I can read aloud, and we can go from there. And maybe I'll insert it into the episode later. But let's go ahead and give this a shot. See if we can hear. Let me make sure my audio level is good for that. All right, let's see.
Hello, this is Piano Bar 77, and I have a question for each host and any possible guest host. If you had to choose between these two fighting game franchises, would you choose Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, and why? Thanks so much. Mwah!
So, hopefully you guys were able to hear that, right?
Yes.
So we have Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. If you had to choose one fighting game franchise, what are you picking?
That's a great question. The two greats.
They are the two greats, aren't they?
I'm not a big fighting game enthusiast. I play a lot of Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. I have played a lot of Smash Brothers, I should say. Fighting games tend to overwhelm me with the combo system, and I don't stick with them very much. But if I had to choose for something that's more up my alley in what entertainment I watch, and maybe this is saying something about what I like to watch and stuff, but Mortal Kombat probably is more up my alley. With, I don't want to say that I just love watching gore and stuff like that, but just like I don't know, like the more violent aspect. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I think Mortal Kombat. I have played Street Fighter. I have played Mortal Kombat. I think we all have in some capacity. And I think Mortal Kombat with the heavier hitting, I do like the KOs, or not the KOs, whatever they call the system, where you basically murder somebody. Those are always interesting to watch. And I think personally I would pick Mortal Kombat out of those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to disappoint Piano Bar, but I'm not really a big fighting game person either. I think... Yeah, between the two, I haven't played a single game from either of those franchises in so long, it feels like. I think I'm most excited for the new Street Fighter game that's coming out soon. I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but it looks a little intriguing to me. When it comes out, I think I'll probably try it out then. That's the plan that I have. I don't know why I haven't really ever gotten into Mortal Kombat though. I feel like there's definitely been opportunities for me to jump into the series and try it out, because I'm not particularly opposed to fighting games. I like trying out new styles and learning new mechanics and whatnot, but I just haven't gotten into either of those.
What about you, Ashley?
So, my second ever console in my life, my first being the NES, was Sega Genesis, and the hours of my life that I spent on Mortal Kombat, I can't even fathom. So and Piano Bar is a good friend of mine, and she and I have talked a lot, extensively about Mortal Kombat. So that's a easy question for me. I love all the old fighting games, Street Fighter and all that, but Mortal Kombat will have a piece of my heart forever.
Okay, so which one should I try out then? If I'm gonna get into the series, if I'm gonna get into combating mortal style, which game do I need to start with?
I would say Mortal Kombat X was a great game, or 10, but everyone calls it X.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite ones. I mean, I love the OG ones, the 1, 2, and 3. I spent tons of time on in my life, but 10 and 11 are great. If you're just starting, 10 and 11 are awesome ones to start.
Good to know.
In my opinion.
So
what about you, Scherbie?
I know I played them both as a kid. I'm sure my parents were thrilled about that. That's literally the last time I remember playing either of them. I played Mortal Kombat over in Marky's house, just across the street. I remember sitting there and seeing the blood and thinking, like, I don't think Mommy will let me watch this again. Won't let me come over here again if I tell her this. So I remember playing Street Fighter and loving Street Fighter and playing that a lot more. So just based on time, if time equals love, I'd have to say Street Fighter is the one I played more, just because we owned it, as opposed to Mortal Kombat, which we I had to go over to a friend's house to play.
Oh, I had the rule as a child, I could not have the blood on. Had to turn the gore off on it. I mean, did I have it on when Mom was in the other room?
Probably.
Who knows?
Nobody knows.
Who knows?
Nobody
That's the
knows.
thing. Like, I don't even think I knew how to read at this time when I was playing it. Like, I think I was 6 years old playing Mortal Kombat. And I was like,
I know.
what am I even?
I was like, who bought 5-year-old Ashley
Right.
Mortal Kombat? I don't know. But,
They're great graphics too. I mean, I'm sure.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and on the Genesis, those like 3D. I mean, now it looks bad, but then, man, those are great.
Yeah.
They had
And
the real actors that played that did the
That's
characters.
right.
Like
I forgot.
in Mortal Kombat 1, at the end, when you beat the game, the credits you see all the actors. So it was a lot of the same actors for like, you know, Smoke and Scorpion and Sub-Zero were all the same guy, just in they changed the color. But it was so cool. Like it was it wasn't even like a designed character. It was just a dude. It was a real guy. Or Sonya, the woman who played Sonya. I thought when I was playing that, it was the coolest thing I had ever seen.
Yeah, that's and like even and those cool graphics do carry over to like modern day Mortal Kombat too. Like they look incredible every time they come out. Which is for Mortal Kombat can maybe the better graphics can make the game definitely more grotesque, but it's still a good looking game. And
Yeah.
I know Street Fighter hasn't gone. Obviously, they've never gone realism in the way they look. They still definitely have like a. I don't know what the term. I never know what the term to use is, but more. I always use cartoony. I know it's not the correct thing, but I think people kind of get the idea what I'm talking about. It just always has like that look to it. Like they haven't gone for realism, and obviously the moves are more comical, if you will, like doing like jumping up and spinning like 15 times or something and hitting somebody. I mean, obviously
Right.
they're more comical with their fighting, but people love Street Fighter. It's always like it always seems like it's the biggest things at the tournaments for Evo and stuff. People love Street Fighter. I know there
Played
is
it
that
a lot
new
at
one coming out.
arcades
Yeah.
as a kid. I played a lot of Street Fighter in the arcade cabinets.
Yep.
Did you guys ever play like Tekken? Which I know Tekken has like a 3D space element to it, where you have like lanes, if you will. You can kind of do lanes and kind of circle each other,
Dude.
but it's still 2D.
I tried playing Tekken for like an hour, and my mind exploded. That's a hard game to figure out, dude.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
looked up a tutorial for it that lasted like 40 minutes, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. All the comments are like, thank you for being so thorough. This is the greatest tutorial on planet Earth. And I'm still lost in the dark. I just figured out it's 3D, and that's about it.
Oh man, I've definitely like when it comes to the fighting space, like I said before, the combo systems typically overwhelm me, especially when they're all different. It seems like they're all different per person. At least maybe they're not. Maybe that's just how my mind is seeing it, that they're all different. But I've never been into the fighting scene. My mind just kind of it almost like shuts down when it comes to combo systems. Like there's a lot of games that have light combo or like upgrade trees and stuff, and even those get to be like I need more simple in my opinion. And Smash Brothers is definitely the most complex I've gotten. Even as much as I love Smash Brothers, some of the DLC characters are too much for me. Like people like Shulk, Hero. There's some other characters where it's just like I don't know. You gotta. It's not like the Street Fighter like half circles, which I know they do that with Ryu and Ken when they brought them in. But they just have like a lot of just other subsystems to their characters. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. It's too much for me. I just stick with Donkey Kong, and I do well enough
Yeah.
with DK.
punch him.
He's my go-to. Him and King DDD.
I was
The
gonna
big
ask
hitters.
if we could go around and say who our main that we play as in Smash.
In Smash, well, yeah. Well, for me, it's like I said, Donkey Kong or King DDD. I like the big. I like people who just come in with a really big punch. Like if I'm playing like example like D&D or any other RPG, I always like to be like the tank character, that or a
Yep.
barbarian, if you will. That's just who I am. I don't like
who I am.
complexity at all. I just like to smack things as hard as I can. What about you, Ashley? Smash
Oh,
Brother
me?
character.
I have not played a ton of Smash in my lifetime. I still have my N64 cartridge for it, but I haven't played a ton of it in my lifetime. I'm pretty bad at it, but I'm always Sheik from Zelda.
Nice. Good pick.
Thank
Good
you.
pick.
I'm 99.9% Sheik, and then once in a blue moon, I'll play as Link or Zelda. Shocker. But I only play as those characters. Zelda only.
Was it Smash Brothers Brawl that finally made Sheik
Playable.
her own character? Like her own character? Like I think
Melee?
you could, but you had to like taunt and become Sheik from Zelda, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't. Sheik wasn't her own space on the board until Brawl, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sheik. I played a lot of Sheik. Sheik was a fun character as well. I did like Sheik a lot.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Jackson, what about you?
So I'm Lucas. I'm the Lucas guy. Not a lot of people like to go against me because it's like they did the PK fire thing or whatever.
Love it.
Just like I don't even play well, but I just spam those and I just spam those moves, the PK moves, and it just gets in my opponent's head. It's all about the mental tactics here. We also share a fairly similar haircut, so there's some bonding there as well.
That's true. I was a Lucas main in Brawl. That's who I played in Brawl. I played a lot of Lucas. He was my go-to, which is very different from saying that I like to play the heavy hitters, right?
Yeah.
He's definitely more just chip away and then come in with the baseball bat and hit somebody. That's usually or the stick, whatever his over A attack is. What about you, Scherbie?
So I also don't play as often as I wish I did. I did watch a lot of it back during the Wii U phase. Anyway, my main now is random. Is that bad?
No, we love
No.
that.
I mean, I play.
No, that's cool.
I play with my family, and not to like sound arrogant, but I'm better at video games than my family, especially my 8 and 6 year olds. So I like to do random. No, but I do random when I'm playing like with my brothers and stuff. I've never done competitive Smash. If I were, I probably would go with somebody that I was most familiar with, like Mario, because I did play a lot of Mario to get pretty okay with Mario at one point. But I have never played competitively. I did start with Pikachu on the N64 just because I was a Pokemon enthusiast as a 10-year-old. So
Pikachu's good on the N64, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just loved Pikachu, and I
think
played
he was
Pikachu
really
up
good.
until Ultimate, I think, came out. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
I think N64. I was the classic Kirby that everyone
A
likes
lot
to
of people
play
were.
as.
Little
Always
piggy.
go
Yeah.
wrong.
Yep. And then I'm trying to think. Melee. I was actually I like Dr. Mario a lot in Melee.
That's
I
pretty
liked
good.
his back throw a lot, where when he would grab somebody, he would like spin 3 times by like holding them by their legs and then throw them. I really liked his back throw. That was a really fun thing to do, and people get annoyed by me by it. And then I played hundreds of hours, thousands of hours of Smash Brothers over all the generational releases and stuff. And then Brawl, like I said, was Lucas. And then I played a ton of Smash 3DS before they finally brought it to Wii U. I played a ton of Smash 3DS, and then obviously Smash. Did they call it Smash Brothers 4
Yeah, Smash
Yeah.
4.
for Wii U? Okay, yeah, I played a lot of that, and that's when I transitioned basically just to Donkey Kong and King Dedede at that point, and I still am.
Big punch.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I just like hitting things. I just like hitting things as hard as I can. That's great. Well, we are coming towards the end here, and one thing I'm introducing into a podcast is what we're going to call the roundtable section of the podcast, where we kind of just go around the room, see if anybody had anything extra they wanted to say that maybe we missed in a segment before, or just if you just want to say something. I mean, now is the time to do it. I'll start because I do have something here that I wanted to ask Scherbie about your being full time here. So you obviously have a bunch of kids. The older ones, are they? What do they think of their dad playing video games? Like, do they have they connected? That's what you do for
Totally.
a career.
100%.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a great question. So I've actually thought about not necessarily this, but just like what home working from home is doing to kids psychologically. Like, I'm actively ignoring my children now while at home. Doesn't that just feels like not good? Anyway, that's just a thought in my head. But my son always is commenting, "Well, you got to play video games for 7 hours today," and it's like, direct quote, right?
Yes.
But and it's hard because it's like, I'm trying to make a living out of this, and I see that you want to play video games as much as I'm playing, but we only allow 30 minutes to an hour a day, depending on things, right? And he wants to be playing as much as I'm playing, or more even, right? So it's hard. I don't think my second oldest really understands it as much, but I do think he understands that I'm actively ignoring him, and I think that's the bigger issue to me, is like, Dad's home, but he's not talking to me. What's up with that kind of thing? And I do not like that, personally.
Sure, for sure.
I think it's great. I always see you interacting with your children while you're live. I see, if they go somewhere, they come in, give you a hug, kiss goodbye. Bye, Daddy. So sweet. Your kids are sound commands all over your stream. I mean, your kids are everywhere. I was there the other day. Your wife had to run a quick errand, I believe, and you had the baby on stream, and she was such a doll. Yeah. Like, it's honestly one of my favorite parts of your channel, is how much family interaction you really bring into it.
Yeah, and we used to have even more when I first started streaming, because of that, like, because I didn't know how to, like, say, hey, you guys need to stay out for sure every time. So we'd have them in all the time, and it was really hard to get them off, because they were playing video games whenever they were on, and so it was just too stressful for me to be like, how can I get you guys off without sounding like a jerk dad, first of all, right? But also, like, you guys are crying into my microphone, and like, it's hard. Everything about this is hard mentally, and I can see why a lot of people have like mental breakdowns or whatever it is with streaming, because of all the different facets that come with it. With full time, it's crazy to think that I'm doing this because of that. I can see the issues that could arise, and they could arise in me, right? Like, I can definitely see that happening.
You hold it together beautifully.
I try. Thank you.
So as so it sounds like, so you said your oldest son, it gets it. Mm-hmm. Has he said that he wants to do what you do?
That's a good question.
He wants to.
I can see him doing it. He is a very shy kid, and I think video games and streaming could help him open up and find that release. I will be for whatever he wants to do, but I do hope, because of all the mental things that I think could happen, and I'm a protective parent that would fight to the ends of the earth for all my kids, right? I don't want him to have to go through those things, but he's going to go through a lot of things in general anyway, so I guess I can't stop that. So I will support whatever he does, because I feel like that's what I should be doing.
Beautiful.
I don't know if that was me saying I hope not, but it kind of is.
Kind of is.
I hope not, but I'll support him.
Exactly.
No matter what.
Yeah, exactly. Always.
Right. Ashley, do you have anything that you want to mention at the end here?
I do.
As far as roundtable.
Yeah, the only other thing, I'm surprised. I'm going to go back to Mario Maker for a second. You all have been playing Mario Maker so much longer than me, even though Mario Maker is what got me into Twitch. Slade was the first streamer I ever watched, subscribed to, followed. I know you all because we're in the Mario Maker community. I never actually was really a Mario Maker streamer. I just was like kind of accepted by everybody because I watched it and I was there. So now that I'm actually trying, I've been trying to play like more popular levels and different things to try to get better. And I had somebody, a viewer come to me recently and send me a message, and they were like, I really think for you to get better, it would be super cool if you streamed yourself playing the top 100 of all time, expert levels. So I think I'm going to do that.
It's a good idea.
Sounds cool.
That's sweet. Is there a way to
Yeah.
just filter out?
There'll
top
definitely
100?
be some tricky stuff in there that you'll have to work through, but I think they're in the top 100 for a reason. And you're not going super expert, you're going expert. So
I'm gonna start expert. I'd like to do super expert after.
Even super expert won't with the most popular. They probably won't have too many shell
That's
jumps. They will have like jumping onto shells and big jumps and stuff. But typically, the most popular ones aren't as crazy hard. I mean, not to say that they aren't hard, because they definitely are. But
Sure.
And one question I have, because obviously if you're going to be super expert popular, they're going to be a lot of like clearable levels, right?
yes,
Right.
I've never really searched through like super expert top 100 all time and looked at them, but like famous creators, like for example like Barbarous King, are his levels in the top 100 at all? Because I know he doesn't use a lot of indicators, and because he uses more just like intuitive indicators. Maybe he doesn't put like squares, like you got to stand here and stuff like that, which a lot of the super experts do on the popular page. Are his levels even in the top 100? Because I know they're very, very difficult.
That's a good question.
And not a
Same
lot of
with
people
like
clear.
Panga and
Panga.
like they are, and those levels are seriously difficult.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Hours of grinding for some of us. I know I don't even know if I've beaten a Barbarous King level yet. They could be, but if they're there, actually, I would just skipping it. Like give it a percentage clear rate instead of just the top 100 in super expert. Because if they are there, I know for me, I don't even know if I could beat most of them. So
My 2023 goal, one of them is to beat a barb level.
isn't that what HK is doing as well? Like you guys had her here last week, and that
She's done like
she's done
3?
some. Yeah, it's amazing.
She's done at least 3. She oh my god, the grind. It's so fun to watch. Like even if she's dying for hours, just to be there when she gets that clear, it's so exciting.
Right, and that's one of the things I think. And they may not be thinking about this when they're building them, but that's what I think of. They're thinking of when they're building these things is like there are going to be people that when they beat this, they're going to feel accomplished and feel like they've done something amazing, which it is. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I could create like that.
I also want to make my first Mario Maker level next year.
Do it. That's actually the
Never
way
made a
that
level.
most people tell me to get better is like if you want to
Really?
get better at this game, is to create a level that uses the tricks that you know that you want to get better at. So if you want to learn to shell jump, create a level that is shell jumping in different ways. Or if you want to learn how to do a reclaim, do a reclaim right after a shell jump in that same level kind of thing. So
Good advice.
I agree.
I'm not creative enough though.
I'm not creative either, and so my levels are like, okay, here's a trick, and then like 10 seconds of running, and then here's another trick, and then and it's not even, it doesn't even look good.
Right.
Might be the engineering.
Yeah, that's the other part is you got to make it look good. Otherwise,
Right.
it's just like lines.
And that's what mine
That's
are.
all it is.
That's what mine are. The first time I get any feedback from like if I submit it to some kind of team, they're like, "So why did you have this part to it?" I'm like, I don't know. I just
Put it there.
What happened? I just put it there. I don't think through these things. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna test out the top 100 most popular expert levels.
You got this.
Ever, I think. Thanks.
I believe you
hope
can do
so.
it.
Go for
I'm
it.
excited
Go
to
for
watch.
it.
Sounds like a great challenge.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I want to beat your pot friend level you made too, Bleachy.
I forgot I made that.
I forgot.
That's a good level.
That was was that for a contest?
Yes, and it
Yeah.
got rated terribly
Yeah, that's
because it was
right.
supposed to be a normal level contest, and I filled it with pot friends. So
So
It's a
that
tough
means
level.
Scherbie, you probably played it because
I
you're in
don't
those contests
Maybe.
as well.
Which contest was it for, Bleachy?
it was Louis, right? Mr.
I don't know.
Luxio.
Oh, was it Louis? Oh, okay.
I need
Okay,
to go
never
find
mind.
it
I
then.
thought it was one of the like the big community ones
Yeah.
that go on every few months.
Yeah.
Jackson, do you have anything for Roundtable? Any last things?
Oh, combining Gaming Sin with Smash Bros. I have never played Super Smash Bros. Melee. I just
What?
wanted to put that out there. I'm about 6 years old, so that's a little before my time. But I feel like it's just still such a relevant game. There's still so many people that adore that game and put so many hours into it. And I've seen plenty of gameplay of that game. And I just sit back and I'm like, I've never even touched a controller while having that game put into the GameCube. So that needs to be something I need to get around to at some point in my life. Figure out my main there.
Mm-hmm.
That's Melee's great. The only problem now, I guess, is obviously there's no online, so it's all gonna be local play or local tournaments, stuff like that, for the most part. And it's very. I remember it's been years. It's probably been over a decade since I played Melee, but I just remember it being so fast paced. It is incredibly fast paced compared to, especially Brawl. I know a lot of people have complaints about Brawl because it was significantly slower. Mm-hmm. And then they I think they found a happy medium with the newest release that people are pretty happy with for the most part. Obviously, you're gonna have your diehard Melee fans that don't like it, but I think for the most part, fans of just Smash Brothers in general really like Ultimate that came out.
It is.
Scherbie, any last thing? For round table at least.
Yeah, I mean, I have a question for you guys, all of you. What are you seeing as a difference in podcasting versus streaming in general? Like, what are the differences to you for it? I guess. Since you guys are now old hat at this,
right? For me, so like streaming, I just hit go live, whatever. Right. Podcasting, I actually get like a weird kind of nervousness coming up to it because I'm always like, are we gonna have enough stuff to talk about today? And especially having like guests coming on, you never know. I mean, we see people on streams and stuff like that. We don't know like how conversational they are one-to-one and stuff like that. So there's always like that area to it. But for me, I get more of like, especially being like the host that tries to move things forward in a way.
You do great with that, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, you're really good. Like I'm very impressed.
I thank you, appreciate that. Mm-hmm. In like deciding when it seems like people have said enough without too much dead air, mm-hmm. Which obviously I could clip out and post and stuff like that to make things flow better. But for me, at least, I do have a small sense of nervousness, which usually goes away almost immediately because we're all just sitting here as friends, just chatting and having a good time. But you're also trying to be entertaining without a screen. People are just listening to you in the car, listening to you working out on a jog or something. I don't know what people are doing, but they're listening to you cooking, doing other things. It's like, how can we try to be kind of entertaining, right? And without having a blanket behind me. At least that's my view. So podcasting, I find it a little more difficult than just hit and go live on a stream because there's usually something for somebody to always watch just right there.
Cool.
Anybody else?
For me, I love talking to people, and I feel so connected to everybody on Twitch that when I get a chance to actually sit down and, I mean, Poncho and Bleachy I consider to be close friends, you know? They're like family to me, both of them. So I get to see my friends and talk to them and hang out, and then we get the guest host, and you get to see, like, someone else's perspective of Twitch and streaming and, you know, get to chat with them on a more personal level. So for me, I get nervous whether it's podcasting or streaming. I always say a little prayer right before, and I always have nerves. But as soon as I pop on here and we hit record, it feels so natural. So I don't have that nervousness of, oh my God, I have people in here that I'm entertaining, and I'm playing a game and I should probably try to do well at that game. It's just getting to talk to cool people that understand your experience. So
love it.
I love both, but podcasting is very special to me.
Totally.
It's cool.
For me,
Bleach?
I think the biggest difference between streaming and podcasting is the chat box. I don't have to, I mean, I shouldn't say I don't have to, but like when I'm doing a podcast, I'm not like darting my eyes to the right to see what chat has said and then looking back at the gameplay. And I don't know what it is, but well, it is this. I'm able to be a lot more focused and a lot more like a part of the conversation when doing a podcast. When I'm streaming, half the time I like go off on like 3 half conversations, and then I stop talking for a second, and I'm like, wait a minute, what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, I'm playing a video game. I forgot about this. There's just a lot going on at once. But with the podcast,
Sure.
it's definitely a little more chill, a little more controlled.
I love it. That's it. Yeah.
How are you feeling on the podcast right now, Scherbie?
I love it. I miss the video connection, or like just like seeing people. Like having a chat is amazing, and I know a lot of them, and I know a lot of them stream, and I know what they look like, so I can like imagine it. But actually seeing you and actually talking to you is very different, and I love it.
Cool.
Yeah. For our listeners, I don't know if we've actually said this before, but for our listeners, we actually do video.
Oh yeah.
It helps us. It helps us. I think connect more for the listeners here, because I feel like we can get conversations keep flowing when we can actually see people's reactions, like our faces and stuff like that. I think there's a layer of that definitely helps things flow. So I don't know if we've ever actually said that, but for our listeners, that's what we do to hopefully keep things flowing nicely. Well, I think that's coming toward winding down. We're about just over that 2-hour mark, I think. So with that, I think we'll go and around the table for self promos of whatever you have going on, whether it is on Twitch, on a social media platform, on a YouTube, anything like that. This is the time to throw it out. If you have a project coming up with something that you would like to do, or something that's coming up that you would like to advertise, you want people to maybe tune in for, now's the time to do it. I'll start with the order we've kind of been going through tonight. Ashley, what you got?
Hey, it's me, Ashley Florida. I am currently streaming on twitch.tv/Ashley with 2 E's _FL. I'm streaming Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday night from 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern, although lately I've been going to 2 a.m. Because why not? I am pretty much exclusively playing Mario Maker right now. I'm really trying to grind and get better at Expert, and I'm going to start the top 100 popular Expert levels next week. You can also find me on TikTok. I've been posting a couple times a week, actually. It's Ashley with 2 E's _Florida, all spelled out. And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Ashley with 2 E's _FL.
Awesome. Jackson, what about you?
Hello, my name is Jackson, otherwise known as Bleachy _B. I'm on Twitch as well, twitch.tv /Bleachy _B, as I just said. You can find me there. We just play some Mario Maker, play some other games, doing quite a bit of variety right now. I guess you can also find me on YouTube, Bleachy B. I haven't posted a lot recently. I have a few shorts that I have out. There's some older stuff on there, if you'd like to check that out. I have a couple other projects that I'm working on right now, but I don't think I'm ready to announce them quite yet. But yeah, stay tuned, I guess.
Ooh.
Wow.
Tune in for the next episode.
Hopefully.
Maybe he's going to be eating something. I don't know. He's got something cooking. It takes a month to
He's been thinking about that the whole time.
Takes a month to get out. Scherbie, go ahead.
You can find me on twitch.tv /Scherbie, SCHERBIE. I did snag the OG no underscore. I used to be underscore. I used to be Scherbie Hancock. Now I'm just straight up Scherbie. I also am on YouTube. If you do the /@Scherbie, same spelling, should be on YouTube. And then on TikTok, I still sadly have the underscore. Somebody, I don't know who this person is, keeps stealing it. No, I'm just kidding. But I play Mario Maker on Twitch daily. Usually, I've been trying to play a variety game in the morning, early at 5, and then, or I guess 7 a.m. Eastern, and then I switch over to Mario Maker. So, but I play every day except for Sunday, and then viewer levels mostly on Mondays and Saturdays, and then other stuff other days. It's a lot, but I have a schedule for myself.
Really busy, but
yeah,
that's awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Gotta have
and then me, yeah. And then me, Pancho Taco. You'll find me twitch.tv /Pancho Taco. Also on TikTok, same name, Pancho Taco. Been posting and trying to stay a little more consistent on that. that's not my main thing. This is strictly a hobby, but I am on TikTok, Poncho Taco. You'll find me posting just dumb videos of Mario Maker. You're not going to find any MLG content. It's just really dumb things you run across in Mario Maker for the most part, which make me laugh. So you'll find that there. I do stream Sunday nights, GeoGuessr every Sunday night, always a great time. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all starting at 9 p.m. Generally Mario related, SMW or Mario Maker 2. I do like Jackson have a project coming up. Something that I want to give myself as a challenge for 2023, which is going to be a very long form thing, which will require multiple breaks because I do like to return to my base. I think as a streamer, you got to return to your base every once in a while. The Mario, of course, for a bit. But I do have a long form challenge that not quite ready to talk about, not till closer to end of the year here, but I am super excited to talk about that soon. And I think people are going to be excited about that. But again, just Poncho Taco. You can Google my name. You'll find me pretty much. Google will just feed it up because there's not really any other Poncho Taco out there, to my knowledge. As far as Arcade Parlor Cast is concerned, you can always go to our website, arcadeparlorcast.com, and you can see all of our links to social medias, including a link to our Discord, where you can come and chat about the latest episode, see any updates on what's going on as far as the cast is concerned. You can also see some fan art that is being shared there, as well as provide feedback. We also do have a phone number, 402-915-1082. Call that number and you'll be sent directly to a voicemail, which we will review, and you may be featured on a future episode, similarly to what we had earlier in the episode. And then finally, we do have our email address, which is email@arcadeparlorcast.com. Send us a note of something you'd like to see us discuss in a future podcast episode, and we will consider it, and it might be featured. You can also send corrections there. We are humans. Send a correction if you notice that we got something totally wrong. You say, yo, David, you totally screwed up. This is not at all what this game is like. Send it there. I'll read it out loud and I'll get corrected. I love to have my mind put on a correction. So send it there. And I guess with that said, Scherbie, thank you so much for joining us. This has been an awesome podcast. I'm super excited for people to hear this.
Thank you again so much for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Ashley, Jackson, thank you as well.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you guys co-hosting.
It's been wonderful.
And with that said, adios. We'll catch you next month, everyone.
Bye.
Peace out.
Bye.